Hi everyone, I'm Scott from Sharky's Greenhouses and Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer, and as you can see, what we're talking about is this gorgeous, beautiful flower, dahlias. And they are a customer favorite and one of our favorites. They're a lot of fun to use, and look at all the different varieties and colors, and there's just really neat, bold, bright colors. So you can see why they're a favorite. They turn out gorgeous, and there's even different foliage. You know, like this is the green, where this has a darker, much darker foliage with this red flower that just turns out stunning. So let's talk a little bit about the care of dahlias. Dahlias do need full sun, and so you're going to have at least 4 hours of sunshine. So you can't have them in shade; they need to be in the full sun. And as far as like cleanup, there are a few things that you will need to do to maintain your dahlias. So one thing you will need to do is deadhead the dahlias, and the stems, normally I just have you take your fingers and nip off a flower behind the head here on that stem, but dahlias have a really thick, hard stem, and I can't nip through it. So what you're probably gonna have, unless you got sharp fingernails, I do not, probably gonna have to take a scissors and go through and take that stem down. So just give it a nip and take it down. Lots of buds on this plant coming up, so they constantly are producing flowers, so they're really cool that way. But also you do want to clean up any leaves that are kind of questionable, and it's just good practice to go through and clean that up. We don't want that falling down and rotting on top of the soil. That's a bad way that can invite disease. So we want to keep the dahlias pretty clean. So go through any leaves that you see that are kind of questionable, take them off. So full sun, watering is just normal watering. They don't want to be too wet, they don't want to be real dry, so you want to be right down the middle with watering your dahlias. Fertilize once a week with the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer. But one thing I do want to talk about, something to be aware of, that is a little bit problematic with dahlias, are thrips. So thrips are a nasty little bug, and where they live is actually right in the center of the flower. So that's where they kind of thrive. And there's an easy way to find out if you have thrips. Now you might have, there might be indications, like if that flower is dying off really early, it might be a bunch of little thrips in there multiplying, and they kind of poke in and suck the juice from the plant. So a really easy way that you can do is you take a white sheet of paper and you put it right under that flower head, and you can just tap, and those little thrips will fall out. And they're very, very tiny, so you'll have to look, because you'll get some of that pollen, but you have to look and at anything that moves and wiggles, and they're a wiggly little bug, so they kind of wiggle along and they try scurrying off. They kind of give you the heebie-jeebies when you actually look at them. But thrips are problematic for dahlias. So how to deal with that? I am a big proponent of systemic insecticide, and we use a systemic insecticide in our greenhouses to make sure that we don't have a problem. And the thrips are out there naturally, and you have to fight them off, and it's best to do that before you win that battle, before it's even fought. So we love the Bonide systemic insecticide, and it's a granular. So what you do is you sprinkle it around the base of the plant, and when you water this plant, that systemic goes down inside and is drawn up into the roots and then into the plant, and it kills off the harmful bugs. It doesn't affect the pollinators. It just kills off the bugs that are poking in, sticking, and sucking the sap or the leaves. It'll also help against aphids or whitefly or those other destructive bugs. But dahlias are problematic with having thrips, so it's just something to be aware of. Now, the other thing is, dahlias they're not perennials, you can bring them inside. So how do you do that? Well, have you ever heard the term tuber? Dahlias have tubers. It's basically their root, and they look like a mini little skinny potato. So if you want to bring in your dahlia and save it for the next year, what you're going to do after that last killing freeze, once that plant died off from the real cold weather, you're going to go ahead and cut this down. cut it down to about 1 inch above the soil. And then you'll go through, let it just be there for about a week, and then the next week take that tuber up out of the soil and knock all the soil off of it. Okay, so you're going to knock all the soil that's clinging to that tuber off, and go ahead and put it into a brown paper bag, and then you'll put it in a cool, dry place like a basement for that season, for that, you know, winter season. Once you come around to springtime, go ahead and plant it out in your garden. Once we're not having any more freezes, go ahead and plant that, and you'll have your dahlias take off again. And once they start springing up, then go ahead and feed them again with the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer about once a week throughout that summer and fall time. They will last into fall, so you'll have beautiful dahlia flowers well into that fall time. So that's the care on dahlias. Go ahead, give them a shot. They're beautiful, beautiful plant, and try saving them from season to season if you can. See how you do. If you're liking our videos, please be sure to give us a thumbs up and follow us on Facebook, and also head on over to YouTube where you can subscribe to our channel there. And also be sure to check out our BeatYourNeighbor.com website, where you'll find the fertilizer, the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer, and also you'll find the Bonide Systemic and other products that we have there. You can check that out at BeatYourNeighbor.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.